feeling it, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Legs feel pretty strong, but my head, It is so nice to be at trail camp. It's gonna be slow going. Obviously we're in altitude and it's pretty cold and £31 pounds with water. Well, good morning everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Jamie McCracken, and today is the day I begin my ascent up the tallest mountain in the lower 48 states of the United States. It is Mount Whitney. It's going to be a 21-mile round trip. It's an out and back, and I've been trying to do this for the last couple of years. I wasn't able to win the lottery, but this year I won the lottery. Back in February I applied, I got it in March, and now it is late July and we're here. I am so happy. So we're going to spend 2 days on the mountain. I'll be going about 6 miles today up to trail camp and be camping, and then tomorrow morning we're going to summit the tallest mountain in the lower 48 states and Hawaii, so 49 states in the United States. So I can't wait to take you along for the ride, and I hope you'll enjoy this one. I'm really pumped, and I think it's going to be a successful summit. Let's go. Almost 1 mile completed in this trek, and as you can tell, I'm wearing a sun hoodie, I'm wearing pants, my REI trail pants. I'm also wearing, or opted to wear, my Salomon Ultra 4s. I went with boots instead of trail runners, and that's just for a little bit more ankle support. When I was acclimating the other day, my trail runners kind of twisted my ankle a little bit, so I didn't want to risk it during this hike. So ripping out the Ultra 4s from Salomon. Love the boots, always been great. They're pretty ultra light actually. But anyways, about the gear I'm wearing. So I'm wearing the REI Sahara sun hoodie and the REI trail pants, and I'm doing that for sun protection. It's actually about 65 degrees here, around 8,500 feet in altitude, so it's not too bad. But I am preparing for the weather on the mountain because we are going to be camping at trail camp tonight, which is 12,000 feet in altitude. So just want to be prepared. I don't expect anything lower than freezing. I think it's probably going to be like 40 to 45 degrees tonight, so really shouldn't be too bad with my 30-degree down sleeping bag. So should be good. Hope you're enjoying the hike. It is beautiful. Had to get out of my sun hoodie. This is merino wool. I've also got a 100% merino wool t-shirt underneath. But as you can tell, I'm sweating through it. But the good thing is these are really great moisture wicking, so it'll dry really, really quick. And keeps you cool, also keeps you warm. But yeah, a little hot, but taking a break. Got this beautiful waterfall behind me. Got a good drink of water. Let's check the stats real quick, see how far we've came. I think I've hiked, about an hour. I've done 1.6 miles, I've hiked for 55 minutes, and I've gained an elevation of 859 feet. Now, over the course of the next 2 days, we're going to be gaining a total of, I think it's like 6,100, 6,200 some feet, something like that, because we started around 8,000. Of course, Mount Whitney is about 14,500 plus feet, making it the tallest mountain in the lower 48 of the United States. Yeah, I'm going to take a little break, and then we'll continue to hiking. Check out the deer. I'm like 15 feet away and he is not bothered at all. It smells so good in this area, by the way. See if we can walk right by him. Hey guy, coming through. This is amazing. Having his breakfast, coming through. You're so beautiful. I've made it to the Lone Pine Lake Trail Junction. You'll see it right here. So this way is Lone Pine Lake. We're going to go down there and check it out. And over here, we will continue on the Mount Whitney Trail. First, let's go down to Lone Pine Lake and check it out. It's just about a quarter of a mile off trail here. It's been a beautiful day. I'm really rocking and feeling good. Had a nice break over there by the waterfall, filtered some water. And now we're going to see a beautiful alpine lake. This is about, I think, 3 to 3.5 miles in case you're wondering. And I think close to 10,000 feet in altitude. I've made it out to Lone Pine Lake, and this is absolutely beautiful. Just a gorgeous alpine lake. The water, nice and clear, and it's just beautiful here at about 10,000 feet in altitude. All right, just a little bit past Lone Pine Lake, you enter the Whitney Zone. And this is where you need a permit, which is, it's in my bag. So if I get stopped by a ranger, I have a bear can, which is also required. Ursack and bear sacks do not work. You have to have a bear can and you have to have your permit. So there's only going to be, it'll be less than 40 of us tonight on the mountain, because that's all that is given in a day. So here we go. We're in the Whitney zone officially. Down there is Lone Pine Lake where we came from. Absolutely beautiful view from up here after, I don't know, 20 or so switchbacks. And we're almost at 11,000 feet in elevation. Here you can see, can't see Mount Whitney, but you can see the spires up there wrapping around. And actually, am I pointing at the right one? Yeah, right around here is the spires, and then Mount Whitney is back over there towering somewhere. It's so funny how a much smaller mountain can block the view of the taller mountain. But this is just beautiful. This little meadow right here. Ah, love being in the Sierras. Check it out, another waterfall. I believe this is the last one we will see on the hike, at least on the ascent up to Mount Whitney. It's just beautiful. I mean, it is late July, almost August, and still a heavy flow from all the snow melt. I've made it up to Outpost Camp. This is one of 2 camps that you can camp out if you win the lottery and get the overnight permit. And I am not camping here. I am camping up at Trail Camp. So we got a couple thousand more feet to climb today, but we're at about, I think almost 11,000 feet right now. And this is a really nice camp. I mean, there's one tent up here. I don't know if you can see it, but right by the waterfall, which is really beautiful, and the stream. So this is a great place to camp, Outpost Camp. But I wanted to get a little bit higher, so I did choose to camp up at Trail Camp, and yeah, that's where we're headed. So let's continue on the trek. Now, before I continue on, this kind of gives you an idea of what you would see at Outpost Camp. So it's a nice little tent spot right here. There's a couple over here. We got some hikers coming down from the summit. They just had a successful summit, they told me. That's good. But yeah, you can pretty much disperse camping all the way up through here. But we're gonna continue on the trail and get past Outpost Camp and keep climbing up to Trail Camp for the night at 12,000 feet in altitude. Back there at that stream crossing, it was an abrupt end to the record because I had met 3 people just sitting there refilling their water and filtering water that are finishing up the JMT, the John Muir Trail. They did it in 23 days. They camped at Guitar Lake last night, and today is their last day. So that's incredible. It's awesome. It's definitely on my bucket list. It's a dream to do that trail. If you're wondering what it is, I think it's like 220 some miles. It goes from the Yosemite Valley all the way to Mount Whitney and down into the portal. You can also do it the other way from the portal to Yosemite. But really cool to meet those guys, and the guy and 2 girls, and congrats to them. Hope to do that next year, if not the year after that for sure. I have officially hit 11,000 feet in altitude, about 11,100 feet actually. You can tell I'm about to be the only green thing up here because there ain't much plant life left when you get this high. Got a couple more miles to go. We'll make it to 12,000 feet tonight and camp at Trail Camp, but the first stop is going to be Consultation Lake. It's got one more lake to see, one more alpine lake to see. Just taking it nice and slow. Definitely can tell the oxygen is just not there anymore as much as it was, so take it nice and easy. Whew. I'm gonna stop at this switchback right now. You probably noticed earlier I switched into my Vuori shorts. I don't wear any underwear with these. They have the NC Minimum, super comfortable shorts. Really expensive, but highly recommend for hiking shorts. About 60 to 62 degrees up here at 11,000, probably 11,200 or 300 feet in altitude. Of course, we have lost almost all plant life up here. We've even got some snowpack. And there's a couple hikers that summited this morning at 8 o'clock a.m. And yeah, just trying to take it nice and slow. Our first view of Consultation Lake. I'm at 11,600 feet in altitude. Beautiful alpine lake. Absolutely gorgeous. Got a pretty nice waterfall over here too, and we got some Mount Whitney summiters coming down for the day. This is just unbelievable. I made it up to Consultation Lake. Incredible alpine water. All right, we have made it to Trail Camp, guys. It is so nice to be at Trail Camp. It has been a heck of a day. I hiked 7.5 miles. Let's see here, the elevation gain was 3,836 feet, and it took me just under 6.5 hours, at 6 hours and 28 minutes to get up here. But right now we're sitting at exactly 12,000 feet in altitude, and I'm excited to be up here. The body reacted well all day. No headaches, chest pain, stomach, nothing. Felt really good. Took my time getting up here. I mean, 6 hours to do 7.5 miles. Lips are pretty chapped, but other than that, feel really good. Really, really good. Body is adapting well. Let's set up camp and enjoy the rest of the evening. By the way, I did want to tell you it is 2:12 p.m. So 2 o'clock p.m. Definitely going to get to bed early, hopefully tonight, and try to do a sunrise summit. And of course, we got to go all the way back down tomorrow as well. So It's been a wonderful day. Let's set up camp. Also, yes, I'm at the base of Mount Whitney, but that is not Mount Whitney. Mount Whitney is over here somewhere. You can't even see it, which is fascinating. But yeah, that is not the Mount Whitney summit for what it's worth. This is the food storage situation. So I've taken my bear can and my water bottles and put them underneath this rock because it's nice and cool. And I mean, it's 60 degrees or 61, 62 degrees on the mountain right now at 12,000 feet in altitude. I did not buy fuel or a lighter. That's because it is a pretty quick backpacking trip. So I'm gonna cold soak, and I'm cold soaking right now this Mexican quinoa bowl from Good to Go. It's got black beans, winter squash, onion, dried butternut squash, agave nectar, all kinds of good stuff. So excited to try that out. Never had it. Also, a quick note, this is the last place that you can filter water up here to the left at trail camp. So must do that before we start the 99 switchbacks up to Mount Whitney because there are no other water sources. I've got to blow up my sleeping pad, let my sleeping bag fluff out, and after that I'm just gonna eat some dinner, chill out, hang out, filter some water a little bit, and be ready to go in the morning. So I plan to get to bed around, I don't know, 7, 8 p.m. So it'll be pitch black when I wake up, early morning wake up call, and I'll have 4 liters of water that I'll be carrying. So I should be fine on that as well. But that's the situation here at trail camp, and it's around 3 o'clock p.m. So it's gonna hang out here for a little bit before bed. For those of you who are new to my channel, I'm using the Flextail Tiny Pump. This thing weighs like a couple of ounces, does the work, blows up my sleeping pad and my Nemo Pillow pillow. So it comes with all these attachments and stuff, so you can choose pretty much whatever sleeping bag you want, and it will work on it. All right, sleeping bag that I'm using is the Nemo Disco Men's Long 30 degree down, so it should do for the night. Keep me warm up here in the mountain, although it's kind of warm in this tent right now. Let this fluff out. For the pillow, I've got the Nemo Pillow. It weighs a few ounces, and the stuff sack, it's all one thing. So take this out, kind of unroll it just like that, and we'll tuck this in. I love how the stuff sack is like built in. There you go. I'm just gonna blow it up. Also, I switched the attachment. This is the one that I blew up the sleeping pad with, but then this one with the Flextail, smaller one, kind of goes over that. So this is for the pillow. Boom. This is my pillow. It's so comfortable. All right. Camp is set up. I'm exhausted. What time is it? Let's see. 3:20 p.m. It's been a full day in the mountains. All right, I'm gonna let this fluff out, and I'm gonna eat soon, get a little stretch in. Oh, check this out, by the way. I got a map. I forgot to show this, but I'll take you through what we did today here in a little bit with this thing. It's pretty cool. I got it in Lone Pine down at the market, so really neat. This is the view from the outside. Now that I got everything cleaned up, the tent looks good. Got things in the backpack, and the Nemo down sleeping bag is fluffing out. Got the Nemo pillow over here. Got my gadgets up there. Really nice. It's time to eat the Mexican quinoa bowl that I cold soaked. Let's see how good this tastes. I'm sure it's not as good as if it were warm, but it actually does look pretty good though. Let's It's got all kinds of veggies in it. Yeah. That's really good. I approve. Like, probably like a 6.5 on the taste flavor. But it'll work. It'll fuel me for the evening. That's all that matters. Okay, I'm gonna filter water, and you may be wondering, why did I not just scoop up the water out of the lake? And the answer to that is, it's fine, you can filter stagnant water, but it's always better to try to come to like a running stream. And up there is a beautiful waterfall, and this stream is going into the lake, so it just mitigates any kind of risk for bacteria. And yeah, even though we're filtering, it's just gonna be a lot easier on the filter as well, probably. All right, let's get some water. Alright, what I'm using, if you've never watched one of my videos, it's the CNOC Outdoors Vecto bag. This is a 2 liter, so it'll hold 2 liters of water. And I've got the seal right here, if I can get it right. I just fold this flat down and it seals it up. And we can filter out of the Sawyer squeeze. That's good. I came back over from filtering water, and the sun is going down, just cresting underneath those spires up there. And this is the view out this way toward Lone Pine. And I've got let's see here, this is a 2 liter bottle, plus 1 is 3, so I got about 3.5 liters. Should be good for tomorrow until we get back down here to trail camp, and we'll summit Mount Whitney, which is somewhere over this way. It got chilly pretty quick, by the way. It went from like 60 to 40 in about, I don't even know, 10 minutes. As soon as that sun went down, yeah, feeling it. It's time to get into the tent. .30 p.m. I'm in my tent, and I want to show you this really cool map of the Mount Whitney zone. So I want to show you kind of where we started today. Of course, we were down here in Lone Pine and got the road up here to the Whitney portal. And from the Whitney portal, we made our way up the Mount Whitney trail. And as we came over here, we saw Lone Pine Lake. And then we continued the trek up to Outpost Camp. That's where that really cool waterfall was. And then right after that was Mirror Lake. And then the hardest trek was probably right in here, this section, to get up to where I am now. Trailhead Meadow, Consultation Lake, and then where I'm at, Trail Camp. This section is really difficult, but we made it, and tomorrow we will continue on. So we'll go from Trail Camp, and we'll continue on the Mount Whitney trail. This is actually the John Muir Trail that continues out. I met some people that were finishing up that today, which is incredible. 200-mile trail that takes you from Yosemite all the way to the Whitney portal, or you can do it vice versa. But anyways, tomorrow we will go from where I'm at now, Trail Camp, and we will loop around here, and this is Mount Whitney, 14,505 foot peak, the tallest in the United States, in the lower 48 states, and Hawaii. So really fun day. I love looking at maps like this, especially when you're on a trek. I just let out a big yawn, so I'm calling it a night at 7:02 p.m. I will see you in the morning as we go for the Mount Whitney summit. Good night. Good morning. It is the last day of July, 3:58 a.m. and it is Summit Mount Whitney Day. Turn my headlamp on here. I have packed up my Z-Packs R-Call backpack. I'm going to leave my tent, sleeping bag, and sleeping pad and pillow behind. I'll come get this at base camp later. Today we're going that way. There are already some headlands up there. Attempting the summit. We've got a couple thousand feet to climb. I wish you could see the stars right now. I took some photos, so I'll throw them up here. Just absolutely beautiful. Incredible. I woke up and I saw these outside my tent and I was like, oh my gosh. So I've got my hoodie on this morning and it's probably anywhere between 30 and 35 degrees. So it's a bit chilly, but we'll warm up soon and won't be too uncomfortable hiking. But yeah, super excited. Been looking forward to this. Let's summit Mount Whitney. Now, obviously, this morning you're not going to be able to see very many views, but the good thing is this is an out and back trail, so what you don't see, I'll show you later this afternoon when we're coming off the summit. Right now I'm trying to make my way to the infamous 99 switchbacks. Just want to get those over with, because that's most of the climbing, and get to Trail Crest. But it's going to be slow going. Obviously we're in altitude and it's pretty cold, and just making sure I can stay on trail. Alright, 10 minutes into hiking and I'm having a beef stick at 4 a.m. I gotta have breakfast, so I was like, you know what? I should have just had it at camp, but I don't know. Something about getting on the trail first. So stopping here, having this beef stick at 4 a.m. and then continuing on. Just want to be smart. Want to make sure I have some salt in me and some protein to start the day. Back on the trail. Let the 99 switchbacks begin. Here we go. There's one turn. Some of these are long, some of them are pretty short, but there's a ton of them. I don't know if there's exactly 99, but that's what they're called, the 99 switchbacks. And here's another one. And turn. Down there is camp. You can see some headlamps now starting to make their way up as well. I have a few people that are pretty far up there you can't see, but let's keep trekking. You can kind of get an idea of what I've been doing all morning. Just this stuff. Switchbacks. The sun is coming up though. If I turn my headlamp off, I actually got decent light from the moon as well. I could almost hike. I know you can't tell on the camera, but I can see pretty decently without the headlamp. So. Stopping to take a break here on the switchbacks, getting some water. Oh man, feeling really strong though. Don't even need the headlamp now. It's just beautiful up here. Sunrise is coming up. We got some more climbing to do after this though. It never stops. But I'm really enjoying this. It's 5:15 a.m. so I've been hiking for about an hour 15 minutes and doing really well. Like I said, feeling very strong. stopping for another eating break. I've got my oats and collagen and dry banana bag with almonds, and wanted to tell you that I am above the 13,000 feet in elevation. Right now I'm sitting at 13,240 feet in altitude, so we've got about 1,200, 1,300 more to go of climbing to get over to Mount Whitney, but right now I'm watching the sun poke out. Well, the sun has fully come up and we're almost at Trail Crest, which means we're almost done with the 99 switchbacks. Brutal. But the good thing about this trip has been almost no wind. I mean, it's just been, pretty perfect weather. Obviously, it's pretty cold today, but we're above freezing. I mean, you can't see my breath or anything like that. And no wind, so it's actually not too bad at all. Alright, I gotta put the camera down, keep going. This is hard to do while trying to film and hike at the same time. Almost a Trail Crest though. I've made it over to Trail Crest. We're over here in the Whitney zone. This is Sequoia National Park. So we got Alpine Lakes down over there to the left. And now, we've hit some wind. Right here. Entering Sequoia National Park. Blocked from the wind now. What stinks is now I've got a down climb. Like, we got to give up vertical. Down over here, and then we'll wrap back around, and Whitney is over there somewhere. So now this is one of the more scarier parts for people because you're very exposed to about a, I don't know, 2 or 3,000 foot drop. But this is just beautiful. Couple people ahead of me that are on the trek as well. Here we go. .9 miles away from summiting Mount Whitney, feeling really strong, but now we're back to climbing. Onward. Saw the incredible view over there I just showed you. Now look at this. I think this may be the Mountaineers route actually. If not, it's over there. I'm not sure. But according to my map, over there is Boy Scout Lake that we saw Upper Boy Scout Lake or something like that. So I'm thinking you just shoot up right here. After passing the windows, I can see the hut up there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but we are almost there. That's, oh, so amazing. Got another window here. Wow. Let's see. I'm gonna take my hoodie off before I continue. It is probably in the upper 40s now and the sun's out, so feeling pretty warm. Whew. All right. I'll check my compass real quick and check this out. I am officially at 14,000 feet, 14,070 feet where I stand right now. So we got less than 500 feet of climbing to get on top of this dang thing. Huh. I'm just trying to savor the moment. It's 8:09 a.m. so yeah, it's looking like an 8:30 a.m. summit, hopefully. We've done it. We have done it. Let's go. Okay, I've tried to do this multiple times. I was a little emotional. I think I got it together now. But I'm officially on top of Mount Whitney. I have summited the 14,505 foot peak, the tallest peak in the lower 48 states of the United States, as well as Hawaii, so 49 states. So really, the only person that is higher than me right now are maybe a few people in Alaska and these sweet souls up here that have also summited today. I can't wait to show you the 360 views. This is awesome. Check this one off the bucket list. Absolutely beautiful. I'm so grateful that I made it. Thankful for my health. Amazing. Well, after about an hour and a half up there at Mount Whitney, a lot of emotion, but it's time to make the trek down to the Whitney portal. I had so much fun up there. I summited around 8:30 a.m., July 31st, 2024. Thankful it was a successful summit, and thankful for my health as always, and thankful that my mindset is always going to be keep loving life, keep moving forward, no matter any of the negative things that happen. Work, relationships, family, doesn't matter. You can create a life that is so fun. And I feel like I've done that to the best of my ability this year. If this is the first video you watched, highly recommend going back and checking out some of the other videos. This was an emotional one for me, and I'm thankful that I got to do it. Really thankful. Okay. I'm gonna get off my soapbox now, and let's head back down to the Whitney portal and finish up the hike, because the adventure is not over just yet. We gotta actually complete the whole thing. Wait, if I'm gonna trail run, I gotta look cool. Let's go. Okay, first 2 miles in the books. We are cruising. I'm just cranking downhill, but now I've got to go uphill before we go back downhill. In case you're wondering back there, people who are hiking the John Muir Trail, the High Sierra Trail, and some others will drop their packs there to summit Mount Whitney for the day. So that's what you were seeing back there. I didn't really show it this morning, but yeah, really cool, because Mount Whitney kind of breaks off from this trail. So, whew. All right, let's keep cooking. All right, we are at Trail Crest, and now it's the 99 switchbacks, and I'm definitely gonna be cruising down these things. So, got one last little hill right here, and then we're gonna be cooking. You may be asking, why am I cooking it and going fast on the way down? Why am I not enjoying it? Well, on an out and back trail, I mean, I've already seen all the views. Yeah, it's a little bit different because we saw this in the morning instead of in the daytime like we are now. But this is fun for me. It really is. I am enjoying it just as much as the hike up. So that's why I do this, especially with out and back. If it was a loop, I'd hike it the whole time. But all right, another switchback. Whoop. Now, this morning we saw this in the dark, and now you can see right at the beginning of the 99 switchbacks, there's probably about 20 or 30 left to go, and there's several stream crossings starting now, so just got to be careful around those. But we are almost to trail camp. Oh, I've made it back to trail camp, and I'm feeling it, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Legs feel pretty strong, but my head, I never get headaches, and yeah, I thought getting down fast would be okay, but now I'm at 12,000 feet altitude and I'm feeling it. I've eaten 3 different times. I didn't show it on video all the time, but I've eaten plenty of food, so I'm gonna continue to hydrate. But we got another 6 miles to go after I break down camp to get to the Whitney portal, and I've got a long drive to Los Angeles. Oh, what a trip, what a trip. I'm gonna break down camp. I'm not gonna film it. I'll just have everything packed, ready to go, and I'll see you back on the trail where we will finish this thing up. About 6 miles to go. I can't lie, I am bonking pretty hard right now. My legs feel good, so it's not that kind of bonking. For the most part, my body's strong, just my headache and head just, maybe a little bit of altitude sickness, I'm not sure. But the good thing is we summited Whitney and we're down climbing, and once we get to the Whitney portal, we'll be at 8,000 feet, and then it'll be a nice smooth sailing drive down to the floor of Lone Pine, and I think that town sits at about 3,000 feet. So but I show you the ups, so I gotta show you the downs too, and not having the most fun on the way down here. .4:30 p.m. and I have made it back to the Whitney portal. Holy moly. I am wiped. Quite a day, going up to the summit, then coming back down to trail camp, breaking down camp, and then hiking the other, 6-7 miles down. This is an advanced backpacking and hiking trip. I would only recommend it if you seriously have some experience. And yeah, it was fun though. I'm so glad I could check it off the list. So glad that I had a successful summit. Now I'm gonna walk over to the car and we'll go over the final stats of the trip. Woo. What an incredible experience. Backpacking Mount Whitney, summiting Mount Whitney, a 1-night, 2-day backpacking trip. So it's actually really quick, but it's really the only way you can do it. You can do it in a day, you can get a permit for that, or you can get a permit for the overnight. Glad I chose the overnight because I got to really fully enjoy this entire Mount Whitney zone, and I'm really thankful that I got to summit. But I want to go over the final stats. I don't have the total moving time right now because I'm still in airplane mode, but I'll put the final stats up right here. You'll see it took me about 18 and a half hours, but a lot of that was, there's not a lot, but there was some that I was not actually moving or hiking. I was just paused at a break or something like that, and I didn't press pause on all trails. So you'll see 18 and a half, but the moving time will be different. The total mileage was 23 miles, just over that, and I gained an elevation of 6,743 feet. This is not for beginners. This is an advanced hike, so I highly recommend having a lot of hiking under your belt, hiking in altitude under your belt, probably training a little bit, or at least acclimating a little bit before you do something like this, kind of like I did with the day hike in Lone Pine at 10 and 11,000 feet. But if you're capable of doing it, it is worth it. It is amazing. The views, you're not gonna see views like that anywhere else, obviously. So I had a lot of fun. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.